Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another Pleta yarn haul video. This video is going to be my fourth official yarn haul from a Pleta, which is a Stenli Yarns, and they are a company from Bulgaria. And you know, I was so lucky that they actually sent me a discount code so that I could get, I think it was 10% discount on my next order here in connection with, I do believe, combination of Mother's and Dad's Day and all that stuff that's been around these days. And that's resulted in this lovely parcel here. You can see I can just about have this a bag or a package here. It's 5.5 kilos of a lovely yarn, and I have a combination in here of cakes, but also some skeins and various Stenli yarns mainly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to share this yarn haul with you guys. But before we start talking about the yarn, it's important for me, of course, to say we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea here. So if you haven't done it yet, pause the video and go grab your tea and enjoy some lovely yarn together with me. In my tea mug today, I do have a tea that's basically called Relax. So it's a blend of Relax. It's an 80% herb tea. This is lovely tea parcel, how it looks, the package. So they are individual sachets. There are 20 sachets in this, and it's a combination. The taste is a mild taste of lavender, lemongrass, and chamomile. So that's basically the tea that I'm up for today. And yes, it is a nice, soft taste of tea. So let's see if we can get this opened. And as you can see, they have really wrapped up this box. And honestly, I think that's nice when they send in cardboard boxes like this and you don't know what sort of weather they might get thrown into and stuff like that. So it's this extra layer of protection. And I have found a little knife to help me open this because I barely know where to basically start opening all this, because it's also taped together to make sure, I do believe, to make sure it doesn't open that easy. So, you know, I have to say, Stenli Yarns do, like ice yarns, pack in their things pretty well. And I also see at the top of the box that I think this box was, they just managed to squeeze in all the yarns. Because there is not much room at the top of the open. But yeah, so basically we are going to, I'm going to move a little bit around here so I can get all this off. Luckily, yarn can be turned upside down without it getting harmed because, and I do apologize for all this noise, but this seems to be the quickest way for me to unbox. And I'm slowly getting in where I can actually feel the cardboard here. So we are almost there. Don't worry, we are almost there. It is really, it's really put up tightly together. I have to say that they are really, really, that's crazy. But yeah, I'd rather have my yarn protected than damp when it arrives. So I'm just gonna drop this over there. So as you can see, as I told you, it's just about holding together up here. So I am kind of happy that they decided to wrap some extra around to make sure it's remained closed. And I can also see I have some yarn not that far from the top. So I need to be a little bit careful here. Oh, just a moment. When I am opening this box, because I do not want to cut my yarn, of course. That would not be good at all, in fact. But this goes pretty well once the packing tape is opened. it's really filled to the brim. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek view here in the box, but we are going to take them out and talk about them one by one. And the first I have, I think, is a present, because this is not something that I ordered. So let's have a look at what Pleta gave me. It looks like a tote bag. And honestly, thank you very much in advance. I did not order this, so I have seen this one at another place. Oh, this is awesome. It is a tote bag. So I have a project bag, an extra project bag for like when I'm going out. So this is a nice tote bag. Awesome. See, it has all sorts of different yarns on it. And it says love written with a like yarny texture. I do agree, this is a great project bag. I am very happy to have received this gift from Pleta. Thank you very much, Pleta. If you're watching this, know that I am very happy for this. Then we have the packing label here, which is basically a nice list of what I got and what I paid for it. It does not say anything about the color numbers. Oh yeah, it does say color numbers. And the sad thing is, Pleta, for their own brand of yarns, they don't have names for the colors, they just have a number. So, but I'm sure we can work out that as it comes. Let's start with this one, which is a muffin. This is a quick view. So I'm going to unbox it from the bag. Afterwards, I will rebag them all. That's gonna be a bunch of work for me. But I know that unless I have a double, then it's much easier to actually see them when they are not in the plastic. So this is a muffin. I adore this one. So this is the Stenli brand and it's called Muffin. And this cake is 430 grams. And for those 430 grams, I get 2,000 meters of 100% acrylic yarn. And it's a nice and soft one. So I can imagine this becoming a very humongous shawl. You could make a dress from it. You could make a tunica from it. You could make a big blanket from it, like a really serious sized baby blanket. So like 2 kilometers of yarn gives you plenty of opportunities. This is a 3-stranded yarn that you hold together. So you hold those 3 strands together while you crochet your project. They can be washed at 30 degrees. So you can wash this at 30 degrees. You can iron it, but do lay flat when you dry it. They recommend 2 to 4 millimeter crochet hooks, and that's actually about it for the muffin cake here. And this is the color. Let's see if I actually have it, because I'm in doubt if it's the first or that as well. I have 44. Yeah, 44 is the colorway here. So 44, if you go to Stenli's website and you search for the muffin cake 44, this is the one you will get. And looking at it here, I think the colors are, yeah, they're matching. They're matching. So that's a really, really nice color. I found them and I was like, oh, that looks lovely. So then I have a cotton star cake, which I have here. So it's a brown one. And of course, as I mentioned before, we are going to take them out. I forgot to mention they all have center pulls. And with the center pull, they usually have this tab on the end. Here we have the center pull. And there is a bead, like a clover here. For if you want to work with a center pull. Here it is. But it's hidden a bit in the cake. Each of them have different wooden pieces that indicates the center pull. This one is also a clover. So this is the cotton star cake, which has this lovely brown colors with a golden thread through to a more like nude skin tone color. I think these are lovely earth tones. And that's also one of the reasons that it really spoke to me, and I decided I wanted to grab it. So it's a cotton star cake. So let's talk about the specs for this cake. This cake is 90% natural soft cotton and 10% luxe. In this cake, you get 270 grams for 1,000 meters of yarn. This is the colorway. Let's see if I can find it. 3,182, so 3182, that long number there. You can wash it at 30 degrees. You can iron it, lay flat to dry, do not bleach, do not tumble dry. Crochet hook 2.5 to 3 millimeters, and if you want to knit with it, it's 3.5 to 4.5 millimeters knitting needles, and it's of course a Stenli cotton star cake. I think it's lovely. This is really, I really enjoy how these colors really play together very well. So that was a cotton star cake. Then I have, because I have so many things here in this order, it's crazy. I have this cake. It looks a bit funny in there. We're going to wrap it out and we can talk a bit more about it. You can also feel it and tell you what I feel. It has some of the yarn stock somehow. I don't know why, but it had the end stock somewhere and I don't see a bead, but I'm just gonna put it back in. This is a souffle. It's called a souffle. So this is the colorway 204. So it's a nice blue color where you have this jeans blue to a light blue to a white. And the souffle, you can see here, souffle is for yarn content, it's 280 grams for this cake. 280 grams gives you a 900 meters of yarn. It is 85% cotton and 15% polyester. And when I'm looking closer to this, I can see there is this sort of thread woven in. So this is a one threaded yarn. And you can almost see, if I can get it to focus a bit, you can see there's a slight different coloration to the blue. It's not just blue, there's this light something through it. But it is going through all of the yarns. I think this is a lovely color. Lovely for lightweight top or the like. So that was the souffle. Then we have, oh, this is nice, Muffin Magic Drops. So again, we are gonna take this one out of its housing so we can have a closer look at it. And I'm just gonna try to keep track on all my bags here. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Look here, you can see this really now when the bag isn't around. Look at these clumps of sparkly purple. So you have a dark aubergine-like purple here. Then you go into more like a lilac purple, I would say lilac, to a brighter purple. And it all the way through you have this sparkly thread of purple. And they do have a few places where they have more like lumps on them. But generally it's just a thinner thread with some lumps here and there. And that's indeed the Muffin Magic Drops, and it basically looks like that on both ends. They also have a center pull and the Muffin Magic Drop. As you can see here, I have found at least an end somewhere, and you can see here that it is of 3 regular threads, and then it's this 4th sort of sparkly thread that goes through it. The Muffin Magic Drops is containing of it. So this cake is 330 grams. And for those 330 grams, you get 1,100 meters of yarn. So that's enough yarn to make a good, decent sized shawl. It's 80% acrylic and 20% luxe. And the luxe is very likely these speckles that goes through the yarn. At least that's usually what is made of luxe. Again, it's a Stenli cake. Can be washed at 30 degrees like all the other cakes. It can be ironed and lay flat to dry. They recommend here for a bit bigger crochet hook because you do have this extra thread. So they recommend a 3 to 5 millimeter crochet hook for the Muffin Magic drop cakes. And this cake is the colorway. I'm not sure if that's a full colorway. That seems pretty big though. It is. It's 16555141. So I'm just gonna show it here. This is the colorway of it. It's not the lot number, it's a colorway. It's a long colorway number, but each to their own. Then I have this gorgeous fella, and there isn't a label on it. There is a label on it on this side. It's a candy star drops. So I am also going to open this, which I am going to share with you guys how it looks on the inside. And it is with the center pull nicely wound up to the label here. So that feels really like handmade and just pulled off the machine because there's like no label around it. I'm not really used to that, but that's cool. Look here. It's similar to the other one because here you also, it's silver speckles, but you also here have the bit thicker silver going through. So we are starting with a little ocean blue to a lighter ice blue. And then you have this really bright blue until you get into the white. And then you have this silver thread going through. And as you can see here, you have this different sizes of the speckles that goes through. Let's see here. Actually, it would probably be easier if I just a moment open the computer because I can't read the small text here. And then it's written in Bulgarian. I speak 4 languages, but Bulgarian is not one of them. It's candy star drops. They are 350 grams. So it's a 350 gram cake. And for those 350 grams, you get 900 meters of a yarn. It's a colorway 4770, and it seems to be dial 01. So 4770. And I am just quickly gonna find the exact yarn specs for you guys for the contents of it, because it's not really written down there very easily to read. And that is, if my mouse works, this cake is 75% cotton, 15% viscose silk, and 10% luxe. And it is very soft and nice. Like the only place where like you can feel you can feel those bumps of these silver parts, but you know, if you take a place where there's not much of it, it's super soft. Like you have zero doubt that there is silk here in viscose silk. This is a really, really great feel, and I love these colors. This is amazing. I'm in love. I need to make something beautiful from that cake, like some ingenious shawl. And we have much more. I see we have a regular candy. And I am apologizing if I do pick out some of the cakes that we already have the same specs from, but you know, they're just packed there as how they could fit them in, and they didn't really pack them as so that when I do a video that I can read all the specs up and just do it once and then show the colors. It doesn't unfortunately work that easy. This is a Stenli cake, and it is a candy, as I mentioned. It has a lovely brown outer edge, forest green, light green to a cream white. This is not a white, it's a cream white. It's very important for me to say, because if you look at this one compared to, there you have the white, so you can see it's more like a cream white, at least if you do it on distance. So yeah, this is a cream white. It has a nice heart here for the center pull. It's 100% soft cotton cake. This cake is 280 grams. Of those 280 grams, we get a 900 meters of lovely, lovely cake. This is colorway 872. They recommend crochet hook size 0 to 2 millimeters. Can be washed at 30 degrees. You can iron it, but you do have to lay flat to dry. It's considered a 2-weight yarn, so it's a fine weight yarn, or I think we call them fingering weight. Yeah, so a lovely thin, and it is definitely a soft cotton, and I love these lovely natural colors. And yeah, we have the heart as a center pull instead of a clover. So yeah, so a lovely cake with natural colors, which is something that I really wanted and aspired to get. I have one more candy cake here. I'm also going to unwrap them. So this is the exact same specs as the one we had with the natural colors just before, except this is a different colorway, and therefore, of course, I'm packing it out so you can easier see the color. I do hope that my camera is somewhat true to color. So we have this green natured one, and this is a real white compared to the other one. So you have this white going into a sage green, going into more like an olive green, until it goes into this a dark green. So if I compare these two, you can easily see here the difference between the two whites. This is a real bright white, where this is more like a cream white. So except for that, of course, it was the same color specs, and you need to know the colorway of this one, and that's 866. And it's the die lot number 2 of them, but again, a nice cake with natural colors. Then I have, let's see what I else have. Did I have more candies? No, I didn't. I'm just trying to see if I can take them out nicely. They are squeezed down here, so I'm trying to unsqueeze them a bit before I unpack them. I have a regular cotton cake here. It's a complete different color than some of those we have seen until now. This is this gorgeous, gorgeous blue, very dark navy blue. To this, I would say sort of purple blue, and then it goes into this bright purple. Gorgeous. This can make an absolutely gorgeous shawl. It's the cotton cake. The cotton cakes are 100% natural soft cotton. 250 grams gives you 1,000 meters of yarn. They recommend crochet hook 2 to 2.5 millimeters. Wash at 30 degrees, can be ironed, lay flat to dry, and it is a cotton cake, and it's a colorway 433, so 433, and it's a cotton cake, again here from Stenli. Yeah, just need to clear up the thread here, and then we continue. Slowly starting to get a little bit of an idea of what we have left. These are the same, these are the same. I'm just trying to shorten down all the time so I don't need to double read the specs for you guys. I thought that was probably the better. So, I have one here, which is the Souffle Luxe. So I am also, as what I've done with the rest, I actually have like nothing that's double except for, of course, the specs. And then I do have some regular skeins of yarn. But this is the Souffle Luxe, and oh my god, this feels like, for something that has sparkles in it, it feels squishy and sort of nice soft in a nice manner. Like, I've never had something that sparkly that feels this easy to the skin. I'm impressed. I am really impressed with this one. We have this lime green to a lovely sun yellow, and I would classify this maybe a bit like a hard white. I wouldn't say it's sandy white, but it's a white. It's also a one-stranded yarn, so this is not several threads you hold together. The same was for many of the other candy yarns. It's just one woven thread together. I actually forgot to mention that. But most of the cakes, except for, let's say, we have the muffins. Muffins is usually the only ones that has these sort of threads together. So this is like the Souffle Luxe, and it's one thread that you hold together. It is still fine yarns. They are still really fine yarns. So it's don't think it's not a fine yarn. Actually, this is like sort of two threads, but the golden thread they have in here is so close it's more or less like one. I can't really see here if they actually, it seems like they have sort of twined it a bit around. But yeah, Souffle Luxe here, and that's a colorway 3682. And let's talk about the specs for this one. This lovely cake is 310 grams and you get 900 meters of a cake. For that, you have 80% cotton, 10% polyester, 10% luxe. Luxe is, again, this lovely golden thread that goes through this whole cake. Again, made in Bulgaria by Statex of Stenli. They recommend a 1 to 3 millimeter crochet hook. Wash at 30 degrees, can be ironed, lay flat to dry, of course. Don't bleach, don't tumble dry, don't do anything else crazy with it. I think that would also be a shame for a lovely yarn like this. Then I have bought 2 candy opals. So the 2 next yarns that I will be showing to you, they are the same yarn specs but different colors. So the first is the candy opal here, which is a lovely purple to a somewhat darker purple out to this lovely black. This is, and then it has this sort of rainbow reflective thread going through it. Here's an example of a beautiful vest that's made from it. It's almost like a shawl, but it is actually a vest because you do have iron gaps here. Stenli Candy Opal is made by Stenli Yarn. This is the colorway is 7865. Right here, it's a bit difficult to read. And the contents of this cake is, for this cake in here, and that's really compact, there are 300 grams right here. And for those 300 grams, you get 85% soft cotton and 15% luxe. It's classified as a fine weight yarn, so a yarn weight 2, which is the same for all of the yarns that I've shown you guys so far today. They recommend a 0 to 2 millimeter crochet hook. It can be ironed, you can wash it at 30 degrees, and it is a lay flat to dry. Then I have one more also of these, what did I call them? Candy opals, yeah. And it has a different colors. It's a bit darker in the color, in the sense of it's a lovely dark red, pink, dark red. But except for that, it's exact same specs. And it's the same type of rainbow thread that goes through it, though they do give different effects because the yarn colors are different. But if you look at them, and I do like this, you can see it's the same type of thread that goes through them. And that is, of course, the luxe. This lovely cake is the colorway 7605. So 7605, and it's the first edition of this color. Those are nice, but they are really, really compact compared to, like, you know, I have 300 grams of cake right here. And let's see, I had another one, I thought. Like, this is 310. Try and look at the difference. This is only 10 grams heavier. This is like really compact. And it's also a one threaded yarn with a center pull, as you can see here, with this sort of rainbow twirled around it. So I have 2 more Stenli cakes left, but I still have plenty in the box. And honestly, when you look about how much yarn I unwrapped and how tiny the box is, I'm still impressed they could squeeze all this into that box. This one is for me a new yarn. I do not believe it's new from Stenli's point of view, but for me it is new yarn. And it's the Candy Star Drops. The Candy Star Drops is the same as this one. So the same specs, which means it's 350 grams, 900 meters, and you have 75% cotton, 15% viscose silk, and 10% luxe. And this is a gorgeous color. So we have this mint green to a lighter purple or lilac that goes into this more medium colored, like fuchsia. And then we have the darker purple out here. And it has purple reflective, or not reflective, purple, what would you call them? Like purple metallic thread going through. That was the right way. And it's purple all the way through here. And there are a few places where the bumps are a bit thicker, but this is purple, where this one is more like silver. But as you can see, they are actually, in that sense, the same yarn specs. Also with center pull. And I have one more Candy Star drops here, which I am going to unwrap. I'm actually surprised they didn't write recommended crochet hook size down on this one, but I expect they are like 2.5 to 3.5 millimeters. Did I mention this was the colorway 4816? Then I have this one. This is gorgeous. Orange to peachy to more like the pink reddish, and then you have this lovely deep red, and it has the specks that goes through here. They are this like dark deep red, so that's absolutely gorgeous. And this is a colorway 4749. So this is the same specs as the other ones, because this is also a Stenli Yarn's Candy Star Drops cake. I love this color. It's really gorgeous. Awesome. This is really, really a gorgeous color. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we only have 3 things left in this one. And there are no candy or Stenli cakes left. And I can see some of these were put in the same, but that's fine. I will work that out. They do like to wrap everything in wraps. So in fact, even if the cardboard box gets damp, it still has to get through the plastic on the inside. So it's like plastic, cardboard, plastic. Like this can't be damp in any way. So the next I have here is a cake. It's a cake from a YarnArt, and it's a YarnArt Flowers Moonlight cake. So YarnArt Flowers Moonlight, and it's this gorgeous red cake where the metallic that goes through here is a red metallic thread that goes through the whole cake. So you started this sort of rhubarb, pink, white-ish mixture that goes into this darker red, that goes into this black where you have on the outer edge. You can clearly see these lovely red metallic thread that goes through it. Of course, as with all of these YarnArt flowers, they have a center pull, and the center pull tab is somewhere in here. You can actually even see through this one. This cake is the colorway 3282, so 3282. And the specs for this yarn is 260 grams, and that's the same as a 9.15 ounces. For this, you get 1,000 meters of yarn, or equally 1,093 yards. It's 53% cotton, 43% acrylic, and 4% metallic polyester. And the metallic polyester is clearly these metallic thread alike that goes through the whole cake. So this is the YarnArt Moonlight, Flowers Moonlight. For me, this is a new color. I really enjoyed the YarnArt cakes. They are really nice and soft. You are absolutely not in doubt that that this is a lovely, lovely YarnArt blend, or just yarn blend generally. Regardless if they have the reflective thread or not, they are really, really a pleasure and joy to work with these YarnArt cakes. And the same goes for the Stenli cake. So lots of these yarns are really a really enjoyment to work with. Absolutely. Next to that, I got 2 types of normal yarns. They are not cakes, they are more like these donut balls. And I got these yarns for 2 different projects. And the first, I am in doubt if that was the right yarn for the project, so I might change the idea for that. The first yarn I got is this Merino baby from Stenli. And as you can see, this is a lightly lovely small skein. And there are 50 grams in these. And for those 50 grams, you get 115 meters of yarn. I do apologize for a bit of an outside noise. Somebody decided to drive by on a big motorbike. I love this green. It's gorgeous. You can iron it, wash at 40 degrees. Do not tumble dry, do not bleach, and They recommend, it's really difficult to read here. I see if I can read it better from the other side. No, I cannot. 3 to 4.5 millimeter crochet hooks. No, 2.5 to 3 millimeter crochet hooks. So this was knitting needles. This is 50% merino and 50% polyester, I do believe. I do want to make sure I say the right specs. I can't really read it because the information is really here in the center and I'm not going to break it. Here I have it. Oh, I'm totally lying for you guys. Sorry. 50 grams gives 145 meters, not 115, but 145 meters. 50% fine merino wool and 50% acrylics. And they feel really nice. They are absolutely scarfable and friendly. And it's a colorway 313. And I got 5 of these. The idea was to make a summer top, but then I'm like, Stina, you bought merino wool for a top summer. Might that be too warm? So it could be that I instead choose to turn these guys into a throw, not a throw, like more like a shawl, a summer shawl maybe. I have not made that decision yet, but it might be that I'm not turning them into a t-shirt or a top, as my first idea was, simply because it's wool, and I would really hate to regret that decision to make something out of wool and then not carry it or wear it enough, just because it's not the right materials. Then the last yarn I got is not from Stenli. It is from Stenli because Stenli sell it at Pleta, but it is a yarn from Gazzal and Gazzal baby wool. Gazzal baby wool here. And let's read about the specs, and it feels really wonderful. Like, I am really going to be enjoying crocheting with this, I'm sure. 50 grams, for those 50 grams, you get 175 meters. And they recommend 3 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, can be washed at 40 degrees. Do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach, and please lay flat to dry. Everything else would be a shame. It's Oecotech standard branded, so it's tested against harmful substances. Gazzal yarns are made in Turkey. So it is 40% merino wool, 20% cashmere type polyamide, and 40% acrylic. And that's what makes it so nice and wonderful. And this yarn, of course I got discount on all the yarn, and this yarn I have planned to use for a very nice shawl. So I bought 6 skein. I'm not going to take the other 5s out of this bag, but I got 6 skeins of this, and I'm really looking forward to make an even colored shawl out of this. I found a nice pattern that I want to make from it, but again, I have so many other projects that I'm going to make first, which is obviously also something that I have to make first, because, you know, I can't do everything at the same time. And yeah, try not to have too many projects running, but, you know, I'm really tempted to start on this and this and this and this and this and this, and I need to make sure that I don't forget about the rest. Some projects are really slowly being finished, but yeah, at the same time, news are started, and it's an internal project. I do enjoy it. It was a pleasure sharing this yarn haul with you guys. If you enjoyed this yarn haul, don't forget this video a like. Yeah, please comment down below which yarn you like the best. And if you had the opportunity to work with it, yeah, let me know what yarn that you would choose if you had to choose any of these yarns that I just unpacked and showed for you guys. I think they are all absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again very soon in a new video, because there is plenty of things coming up on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, and happy crafting, and stay safe and healthy until I see you again. Take care. Bye.